A Paper Route Empire affiliate, a real protector of young Dolph's legacy, caught Hernandez Govan on Instagram Live and pulled up. He physically showed up to fight this man on sight. No warnings, no debate, just raw action. The video is going viral right now. Going by Castalia Sammy on Instagram, he did what many people wanted to do for years. But as commentators, we need you to understand this before we show you that clip. Because if you do not know who Hernandez Govan is, what police allege he did, and how he beat the charges, what happened after his release, and the tragedy of his own daughter, you are not ready for this depth. We are breaking this down from start to finish. Hit that subscribe button, because by the end of this report, you will understand why that confrontation happened, and why nobody in the PRE camp is losing sleep over it. Let us analyze the facts. If you are new to our coverage, welcome to the channel. Make sure to like this report. We must travel back to November 17th, 21. That date is etched in the minds of anyone who followed the Memphis rap scene or cared about hip-hop culture. That was the tragic day young Dolph was murdered, gunned down inside Makeda's homemade butter cookies in Memphis, Tennessee, a beloved local spot he frequented all the time. To our community of viewers, young Dolph was never just a rapper. He represented an entire movement. Paper Route Empire, fully independent. He built an empire, inspiring a new generation of artists to own their masters, control their brands, and move on their own terms. Then, someone took that life away. That is the baseline of our entire discussion today. We must never lose sight of that. Now, two names immediately emerged as law enforcement investigated the homicide. Those suspects were Justin Johnson, known as Straight Drop, and Cornelius Smith. These were the two individuals charged with executing the hit and pulling the triggers. And those trials have been widely reported. But our editorial team tracked a third name, a name that perhaps escaped mainstream headlines. But on the streets of Memphis, locals knew exactly who they were dealing with. This suspect was Hernandez Govan. This is where our investigation gets interesting, because Govan was not charged as the actual gunman. Nobody claimed he walked into that cookie shop. What authorities alleged instead, and we must emphasize these are strictly allegations from the state, was that Hernandez Govan played a highly specific, behind-the-scenes role in the conspiracy leading to young Dolph's death. Authorities allege that he was a key part of the planning and coordination. Specifically, prosecutors allege that Govan was tied directly to the acquisition of the getaway vehicle, the white Mercedes used in the shooting. They claim that he helped deliver that car to the contract killers. Let us think about that for a moment, because in the eyes of justice, if you coordinate a murder plot, help plan it, or actively source the tools used, you can legally face the exact same criminal liability as the gunman who pulled the trigger. That is how federal and state conspiracy laws operate. It matters not if you were miles away, or if you never handled a weapon. If you help plan it, prosecutors will prosecute you just as hard. That is precisely what the state attempted with Hernandez Govan. He was arrested and indicted. At the time, the entire community watched closely. Our audience and the public knew this was about young Dolph. This was not some minor headline. We are talking about an icon of Southern hip-hop, and the streets demanded full accountability. So, how did Hernandez Govan walk away clean? Because, make no mistake, he did. He escaped conviction. That outcome has sparked outrage for a very long time. Here is the breakdown. The state's case was built almost entirely on the conspiracy angle, asserting he was a willing accomplice in the plot. But inside the courtroom, the evidence against him specifically, excluding the other defendants, failed to prove a knowing criminal conspiracy to the strict standard required for conviction. While we are news commentators and not lawyers, the legal details of that trial are indeed complex. But the reality remains the same. The trial did not produce a conviction for Hernandez Govan. He walked free, leaving young Dolph's global fan base absolutely devastated. We cannot overstate the deep shockwaves this caused. In the court of public opinion, especially across Memphis, the public verdict had been delivered. Supporters strongly believed he was tied to Dolph's passing. Watching him walk free reopened a massive wound. That resentment lingered. But this is where Hernandez Govan escalated the entire situation to an entirely. He made things so much worse for himself. Usually, when people beat a serious charge and get through something that massive, they lay low. They stay quiet. They know they just escaped a major prison sentence and they adjust their lives. They go live quietly. That is a smart play. and exactly what any rational person would do. But Hernandez Govan did the absolute opposite. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, because when this man beat the case and came home, he started doing interviews. He started talking, going on platforms, going live, hosting podcasts, and doing sit-down conversations. As commentators, we saw that his energy was not of a man who just narrowly escaped a prison cell. He did not seem humbled by a close call. The energy he projected, and I want you to really hear us on this, was almost like he was embracing the narrative, leaning into the idea that he was connected to what happened to young Dolph. Now, his supporters would argue that he was just defending himself publicly, setting the record straight after being falsely accused. We understand that argument, but the way he was moving, the things he said during those appearances, and how he conducted himself, looked very different to the public. It looked like someone trying to build a reputation off a terrible tragedy, as if he was using young Dolph's death to gain online clout, street credibility. In Memphis, and among the community that actually knew and loved Dolph, that did not sit well at all. It was seen as disrespectful on a level that is hard to measure, because Dolph had a family. He had a partner who loved him, he had children, and he had a whole paper route empire of artists and people who depended on him, looked up to him, and built their careers alongside him. To have someone who was allegedly involved in his death doing press runs and talking about it like a badge of honor, that is a major slap in the face to all of them. The streets do not forget. They never do. But now, this is the part where our team of editors genuinely struggles. We want you to really sit with this. Next detail. We must discuss what happened to Hernandez Govan's daughter. Before we do, hit that like button. Life comes at you hard, and sometimes the universe brings things full circle in ways that are deeply jarring. Hernandez Govan's daughter was killed, his own child. We have to be honest with you. Regardless of everything, regardless of what this man allegedly did, or how the public feels about him, losing your own child is something we would never wish on anyone. That pain completely transcends street politics, and it transcends any beef. Losing a child means losing a piece of yourself that is gone forever. Our team reflects on that, and we think about how young Dolph also left behind children who had to grow up without a father because of what happened. It is tragic how violence just keeps taking. It takes from families and keeps producing children who must grow up missing a parent. Nobody wins in that cycle. Absolutely nobody. Now, we are not saying what happened to his daughter was karma or street justice, because we do not play with children's lives. We are not going there. But the trajectory of Hernandez Govan's life, after beating that case, the choices he made, how he moved publicly, and the reputation he chased, none of it brought peace. None of it led anywhere good, and his innocent daughter paid a price she had nothing to do with. That is just the harsh reality of this environment. As commentators, we believe this matters to the overall story. This is not just about beef, clout, and viral videos. Real lives are attached to all of this. Real families, real grief. Keep that in mind as we analyze what just happened, because it adds serious weight and context. Now we are fully caught up. You know who Hernandez Govan is, and you know what the police alleged his role was. You know he beat the charges, and how he acted afterward. You know the tragedy that touched his family. Let us look at what just unfolded, because everyone is discussing it. Hernandez Govan went live on Instagram. Why he decided to go live at this point in his life, with all the drama attached to his name, is something our editorial team cannot understand. But he did it. He went live, and apparently CSS Talia Sammy, a public relations affiliate in Dolph's circle, representing that side, saw the stream, or was tipped off by someone who saw that this man live and shared his location. Our reports confirm he pulled up in person, physically heading to where Hernandez Govan was. What unfolded next is the video currently going viral across the internet. A crazy video is making its rounds across social media. We are talking about a physical confrontation, and the footage has leaked online. Everyone is watching and sharing this clip. Trust us, the reaction inside the hip-hop community has been absolutely massive, especially in certain circles. Castelia Sammy is being hailed as a hero right now, viewed as the one who finally stepped up and did what had to be done. He stood on business for young Dolph, for Paper Route Empire, and all of Memphis, especially for those who felt cheated by the courts. They feel the legal system failed. Today, we want to break down why that reaction exists. First, hit that like button and subscribe. Look, we have to understand what happens when someone is accused of orchestrating something as devastating as the murder of young Dolph. When they beat the case and immediately start moving like Hernandez Govan did, bragging online, doing interviews, and acting completely untouchable, it seems like they are enjoying the notoriety. That triggers a massive segment of the public who believe justice was never served. They feel the justice system completely failed them. And when people feel like the courts won't protect the legacy, they take action. Sometimes, they take the law into their own hands. As commentators, we are not here to debate if that is right or wrong. We are simply telling you the harsh reality of how these street situations play out. That is the code in these environments. When Castalia Sammy realized that this man was broadcasting live, he tracked him down and physically confronted him. That is the street code being executed in real time. Now, let us look at Castalia Sammy for a second. Our viewers deserve to know who this man is before making any quick assumptions. Looking at his social media and background, and based on what his close circles say, he did not just jump into this dangerous situation for temporary internet fame. This is an individual who has real ties to Paper Route Empire and felt a deep, personal connection to young Dolph. He truly respected what Dolph stood for, and he has been very vocal online about the people linked to Dolph's death. This was not a sudden decision to play the internet hero. This is a man who has had these raw emotions building up, and the fact that Hernandez Govan was sitting there broadcasting on Instagram Live, looking entirely comfortable and accessible, was apparently the exact moment where everything finally boiled over. And as commentators, we have to point something out. Broadcasting your location in a city like Memphis, when your name is tied to such a massive tragedy, is incredibly risky. Memphis has long memories and deep loyalties. In the streets, they call that getting caught lacking. Plain and simple, you cannot afford to be that visible and relaxed when you have that kind of heavy history trailing behind you. And Hernandez Govan just learned that lesson the hard way. Meanwhile, this confrontation video is spreading like wildfire, and the public commentary tells you everything you need to know about how people feel regarding Govan's behavior after his acquittal. No one is showing him sympathy. If you are following this story, please hit that like button right now. Instead, viewers are watching this footage and feeling a sense of street justice. Let us discuss the bigger picture here. What does this actually mean for the enduring legacy of young Dolph? This is a crucial conversation we need to have. Young Dolph, born Adolph Thornton Jr., was far more than just a rapper. We established that earlier, and we stand by it. He was a man who grew up in South Memphis, navigating one of the absolute toughest environments in the country, and carved out an extraordinary empire through sheer determination and brilliant business acumen. Dolph went independent when everyone insisted you needed a major label. He turned down multi-million-dollar deals that would have made anyone else rich, simply because he believed in ownership. Paper Route Empire was far more than a record label. It was a blueprint and a philosophy. It proved you could win on your own terms. When he died, Memphis suffered immensely. The grief was palpable across the internet, heard in the tribute tracks, and deeply felt in the streets of Tennessee. We saw Key Glock and the family carry themselves with immense dignity, keeping the Paper Route legacy alive. That deep pain never really faded. It remains raw, and it connects directly to the anger people feel right now. They are furious seeing Hernandez Govan act so casually in public. Let's be honest, when you love and respect someone, and you feel their life was taken in such an unjust, violent way, you absolutely do not forget. And you certainly do not forget the people you believe were responsible. You do not just let that slide. An acquittal does not wipe the slate clean. Doing podcast interviews does not erase the past. And you definitely do not forgive them when they go on Instagram Live, pretending life is perfect. It is not perfect. And now everyone sees that reality. We want to address a point that is definitely going to flood our comment section. Many of you will argue, but he was found not guilty in court. The jury cleared his name. Legally, yes, Hernandez Govan was acquitted of the conspiracy and murder charges. That is an absolute legal fact. Our legal system operates on the principle of innocent until proven guilty. And by that system's standards, he wasn't convicted of what prosecutors charged him with. But look, we need you to really hear us on this. Not being convicted is not the same as being innocent to those who loved young Dolph. It is not the same as being innocent in the eyes of Memphis. Our court system has clear limits. Evidence gets thrown out. Witnesses refuse to talk. Cases fall apart over procedural technicalities that have nothing to do with real guilt or innocence. And those living in these communities know this all too well. They have seen guilty people walk free while innocent people serve time. So, when someone beats a high-profile charge like this, the immediate assumption in many neighborhoods isn't that they're innocent, especially when that individual turns around and starts moving like Hernandez Govan did. His post-trial behavior after leaving jail, the online interviews, his cocky energy, and how he discussed the case basically exposed him to everyone who was watching. That's why none of the fans cheering for Castalia Sammy right now care to hear any talk about him beating the charges. The legal verdict and the streets verdict are entirely different things. And right now the streets have spoken. Let's address what we think about Castalia Sammy's dramatic decision to pull up, as we know this will dominate hip-hop news. Many will debate if this confrontation was the right move. Critics will debate this from every angle. But here's what we think. From the PR side, from the loyal supporters who ride for Dolph, this was not a random beef. This wasn't clout chasing. This was someone who analyzed the situation and felt a disrespectful person was out here breathing easy, running his mouth about matters tied directly to the death of a beloved artist, deciding that couldn't happen without some real consequences. That is the harsh reality. Agree or not, that is the world this story lives in. And because Govan was hosting a live stream, that detail will hurt him the most. He chose to stream. He chose to be visible. He essentially handed a rival with a grudge a direct map to his exact location. That is not something anyone forced on him. It was a clear choice. And choices carry consequences. Castalia Sammy saw it, pounced on it, and now the footage has gone completely viral. Meanwhile, Hernandez Govan, who has spent his post-acquittal time trying to build a massive public brand off his street infamy, has gone viral again, but not on his own terms. Not in an interview chair, talking big, but in a clip where a paper route affiliate caught him and demanded answers for everything. Let's bring this home now, because we have covered a lot of ground and we want to ensure it all connect. Before we let you go, we began with young Dolph on November 17th, 2021, losing a true legend who built his independent empire from nothing and put on for Memphis at the highest level. We discussed Hernandez Govan and his alleged role in the murder, the dark conspiracy, the getaway car, the coordination, and his arrest. We analyzed how he managed to beat those charges, but instead of laying low, he immediately went on a press tour, seemingly capitalizing on the heavy rumors connecting his name to the death of Dolph. We also covered the heartbreaking loss of his young daughter, a tragedy showing the cycle of endless street violence that devastates families. It claims innocent lives who never wanted any part of this war. Then we detailed the present day, where Castalia Sammy caught Govan streaming live, pulled up to confront him, and posted the viral footage online. This entire saga speaks directly to loyalty, deep grief, and the volatile reactions that happen when someone believes justice failed in a courtroom and chooses to take matters into their own hands. It shows the extreme danger of moving reckless instead of smart after dodging a life sentence in a major criminal case. At the heart of everything is the enduring legacy of young Dolph, a legend whose memory still holds massive weight. His name is so respected that street affiliates remain ready to ride for him, years after his passing. That is real loyalty. It proves how deeply he touched his community and his team. True supporters do not simply move on. They carry that heavy loss forever. And when they witness what feels like a direct disrespect to his legacy, some people will not just scroll past, they will pull up to handle it. And now everyone is watching. If you are new to our channel and this report gave you the full breakdown on the Govan situation, welcome. Be sure to subscribe as we cover the rawest hip-hop stories and deliver the deep analysis you deserve. If you are a returning viewer, you already know our style. Let us know in the comments your thoughts on this entire situation. Did Castalia Sammy make the right move? And what about Govan's post-trial antics? We want to know where you stand on all of this. Drop your comments below and subscribe if you want our full, detailed breakdown. We are breaking down the real stories behind the headlines. Tap like to make sure we keep bringing you this exclusive coverage. Young Dolph P lives forever. Subscribe and we will see you next time.